Hey Wise Owls, Carla here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a review on a Sennheiser Lav that I just bought. And I've had a Sennheiser Lav before, which I absolutely love, but I never did a review on it, so I figured now we can dive into this. I talked a little bit about the Lav when I did my Zoom H6 review, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out that video, but right now we're going to do a test specifically on just this new Lav. So this is the new Sennheiser Lav that I have, and what I really like about this Sennheiser Lav, it's from the EW100 series or the 100 series for Sennheiser Lavs, and they're portable and they're battery operated. So we're going to take a look and open this up. Okay, so this is what you first see. So as I mentioned, this is an EW100, and it actually says EWG4 series as well. So let's take this out. And I believe that that's just like model as well as certain levels of like frequency and different things like that. We see the XLR cable as well as the microphone. There's also the camera adapter plate. This is so that the microphone can go on top of the camera and you can be run and gun, and the audio will be coming either straight from the camera or from the Zoom recorder. The thing about that though is the previous one that I had bought did not have this, and most of them now come with some sort of plate, but the previous one I had bought a few years back, I think almost 6 years ago, did not have this, which is a total mistake. When you buy your stuff, make sure it has these adaptable attached plates that you can put on top of the camera, because it's really helpful for run and gun, and just in general, honestly, having all these different mics attached to you or in a bag while you're trying to mix is really frustrating. So I would just make it easier on yourself and get one of these. So that's one of the main reasons I really like this one. This is the adapter cord I was telling you about. So all Sennheisers come with this one so that you can plug it directly into some DSLR cameras and just get straight from Lav to camera audio. Now we also have the receiver and the microphone. Okay, the receiver and the microphone. There you go. So these are pretty lightweight. It's easy to clamp on the back because they always come with this clip. These are actually battery powered by Alkaline batteries, AA, which actually come in the box, which is really cool, so that you don't have to buy extra ones, at least for now. Now let me talk about this for a second of why I made this choice instead of getting one with rechargeable batteries, because you can just get a couple and just recharge them and that's it, ready to go. But the thing is that I feel like I've been stuck in situations on the field, well, there's no charger, or somehow the battery gets drained quickly, or you end up getting a lemon for a battery. And what ends up really happening is you're running and gunning, and now you are, for lack of a better word, screwed. It has happened to me before when I decided to rent, because always rent to try out your equipment first. I rented the AVX series, and I'll pull up a photo right now so you guys can see which one I'm talking about. And yes, it sounded great. The quality was nice. It sounded like pretty much any other Sennheiser, which was nice. But when the battery ran out, which was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be, I had to put in the rechargeable one, and I guess it just wasn't charged enough. So within like an hour or two, it was already starting to fail, and you could hear it in the quality of the sound, like it didn't have as much power. I was really frustrated. I don't know. This is, I think, one of those things where it's maybe preference. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of feedback as to like why I decided to go with alkaline battery powers, though it does, in some way create a little bit more waste. I recycle these. And so I figured if I do the due diligence to do that, then it shouldn't be a big deal that I decide to get one of these battery operated not rechargeable battery operated Sennheiser. So now we're actually going to do an audio test of this stuff. So I'm going to open it up. You just click this clamp on the side and it opens up, and you put in your batteries. And please comment below and let me know if you've tried the G4 series or 100 series of Sennheiser mics, what your favorite is. So you're going to take your XLR input cable. The reason I had gotten a second one is because I just was doing so many interviews where 2 were needed, and I ended up renting so much throughout the year that I was like, why not just invest in one? That's usually a good sign as to whether or not you should invest in a product or not for your kit. Is it's something that I'm using often and paying almost as much as I would if I would have just invested in the product to begin with as a buy. So we're going to put this in the first input. And it won't affect the audio right now, so. Okay. Now when you remove these, just as a little heads up, do not remove by just pulling. There is a sort of like a little bit of a metal grip here on the cord, and you can just pull it right out. And guys, be really careful with these things. Like, don't just like put them loose in your bag unless you have a camera bag that you can put it in like sort of like zipped up areas. The reason I say that is because something like this could cost you like $25. So you want to be very careful with how you're putting away a lot of your equipment and how you're handling it. And these wires, especially this XLR one, can get really faulty after a while. And though they're easy to find, it's still another expense. So take care of your wires. Don't just stuff them in your bag. So usually, for the people who haven't seen my Zoom video where I've talked about this, usually what I try and do is I try and use my thumb along with my pinky, kind of like, what's up, dude? And measure that between my lower lip sort of chin area to my collarbone. And that's usually where you want to put the mic. It's usually a good distance, but of course it depends on also what the person is wearing. So in this case, because I'm just doing a test, we're just going to clip it onto where it said. So now I'm going to connect the one that says AF out is the one you're going to connect to your XLR input. And you always want to tighten up these little screws right here, okay? Now I'm going to take the microphone pack. I'm going to insert and tighten the Lav. Now right now it's muted technically because your setting right now, as I have it, as you can see, is left and right. And right now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to set up the 1. Okay, so we're going to do that really quick. So as you can hear, this is a lot more direct audio when it comes to lavaliers. You really want to be getting whatever the subject is saying. So before I had the left and right, so it was picking up a lot more audio around us. So that's why it sounds a little bit different now. And this is without the left and right on there. So as you can hear, like there's nothing, like this is just directly to this audio. And if I pull it up even more, you can even hear, like you can obviously get it really direct. I like this. I like it a lot. I think it sounds like pretty much every Lav that I've had. So that's really good. So we're going to go back. Okay. Okay, so this is the previous Sennheiser that I bought. So this is also part of the 100 series. It's almost pretty much the same exact size, as you can see, as the newer one, but this one is a G4 as well. So it's an SK100 G4. This is just an SK100. Quality sound, honestly, for both are amazing. I think the only main bonus about buying this pack now, this series that I bought, is that it comes with that adaptable plate, which is really awesome in order to get this to be a more portable way to go when it comes to your microphone. So I do think that that's something that is a huge benefit. Okay, so here's my final review. I give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. 1, because Sennheiser is amazing when it comes to quality of audio, and they're very consistent when it comes to their different series of Lavs, always having a great compatibility with some of their other Lavs and just having great quality audio. So I feel like that's going to be a huge plus here because the quality of audio was also great. It sounded just like my other Lavs, and that's with me having just done it straight from the setup without doing much else. I also love that it comes with the adaptable plate because it really makes this portable, run and gun. And of course it is battery powered. So I guess in some ways the drawback would be that the fact that it is battery powered, it's not rechargeable battery. So for some people, they might think that it's too much to hold so many batteries, but honestly, 2 batteries in this pack usually for me will last a full shoot. And when I say a full shoot, we're talking between 8 to 10 hours. If it does need recharging or change, I mean, you're talking 4 batteries, the most that you're going to use on one of these in a day. And that's if you're working all day with the Lav on. So I think that that's pretty great as far as the lifetime of the batteries when you are doing something like interchanging them instead of doing rechargeable batteries. So some people might see that as a drawback. I don't really mind it because I know that no matter where I am, I'll be able to put in new batteries and not worry about charging or anything like that. I would say that another, drawback for some people is the receiver being bulky, because now, if you look at the AVX series of, I believe that's what it is for Sennheiser, they have an L-shaped, as I mentioned, little receiver that almost looks like a USB port, like a little thumb drive, and that, is a lot more compact. So I can see why people like that as well. So I would say that's another drawback, is the fact that you don't have a small compact receiver. But again, it really is preference, because I think that for me, having tried out both of these before I bought and made my final decision, it helped me realize what was going to be best for my kit and for just the way I do my production. Because at the end of the day, you might like this Lav and then you get it and you hate it, which I think is impossible because the quality is really good and Sennheiser's awesome. But the thing is, you have to try these things out. So use different platforms to rent your equipment, whether it's lensrentals.com or ShareGrid or other platforms. Go through that, try these out, and then see for yourself if it's the perfect fit for your kit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I am very much liking this new lavalier and I cannot wait to try it out on the field. Make sure you leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought of the sound quality, what you thought about this review, and what other videos you'd like to see in the future. But until then, have a great one. Bye, Wise Owls.